finally got an interview for the dream job. And after working with him, I got it, and it was simple and it was easy.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed the journey.
Oh, has it helped? Yes, it absolutely has. It's definitely helped in knowing the market a lot better and knowing how to how to put myself out there. Like, I would never ever have touched my LinkedIn ever. I didn't see LinkedIn as a valuable resource at all. Yes. So in saying that, it already has proven to be.
Really what I say. I think you guys are great and change people's lives, and it makes a lot of difference.
You deliver at a very high level.
It was really enjoyable. You learn a lot. It was really easy going step by step.
You did? Just before Wendy do. So that was, I think session 5, the interview session, if you ask me, was my favorite out of all the 6 sessions.
So it's not only helped me in my personal branding, but it's helped me now on the business side, where I feel very, very capable to go into,
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. And I want to say happy Tuesday, and that's Tuesday with a C, because you get to decide. So today, oh man, I've got a special guest, and I've been trying to get her on for several months, and we are connected in a business group on LinkedIn. So before we get into it, just to let you know, there is about a 20-second delay. And if you're watching the replay, you know what to do, #replay. And let's get cracking. Hey, super legends, superheroes, and superstars. My name's Dre, and welcome to another episode of Hot Hire Coaches on Fire. We are absolutely going to tear it and rip it up today. And let's do it. So this next guest, VIVIANA or Viv MUñOZ is an absolute superstar on LinkedIn and as a business coach. And she started off as a blogger, like having a career branding website. So I'll get her to talk a little bit more about that. So without any further ado, I want to give a big, massive, warm welcome to Viv.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate this opportunity to be here with you and to be a part of what you do. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me. So this is your second time on, and I'm glad that we have got a bit longer this time to talk through, because I know that you absolutely love branding, and we were talking before about career branding and how you've I guess built your business, built your brand. So I'm curious to hear all about that. So do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Yeah, so a little background about myself. I was born and raised in the Bronx, New York. I have 2 kids. My oldest is 25 years old. And
you don't have a 25-year-old. You're too young.
Yes. And I moved to Tampa, Florida about 5 years ago. So when I came to Florida, it's funny because I had no knowledge of what life was like outside of the Bronx, So it was just full of, it was a very struggle environment. Everybody struggled. My parents always struggled. It was 6 of us, and my father was the only one working. So I felt that I always wanted to do more, and I always wanted to be more. And I didn't know what that looked like up until I moved to Tampa, Florida, which is where I'm at now. So that's kind of like my, family background. And then I have my two kids, my son Irving, 25, and then my
Yeah.
daughter Penelope, she's 17 years old, and they both live in the Bronx.
Okay.
So they my daughter came here, but she didn't, I don't know, she didn't like it, so she went back to New York. And I mean, they're already older, so I was, living my best life at that point, because I didn't know what life was without having kids around, so
Oh.
yeah, so I started, really finding myself and discovering a lot of things about me, discovering my strengths, my weaknesses, learning about people, learning about diversity. I started meeting, as bizarre as this may sound, again, I was in a very secluded, very closed environment. So I had no knowledge of a better life. So I started meeting people in my culture, and they had this like Southern accent. And I was like, didn't understand why, but it's because they grew up in Tampa or they grew up in Florida, so they have a Southern accent. So, I'm like, why do you sound like that? Very like naive, and
Yeah.
like, what do you mean? Why do you sound like that? And I'm like, this is normal. Like, but it wasn't normal. It was totally not normal. It was just diversity.
Yeah.
Because you have a lot of diversity in New York. I don't know if you ever visited New York, but there are a lot of different cultures, but either they were born and raised there, or they just kind of adapted to the accent. So we all kind of sounded alike, if that made any sense.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah.
So yeah, so then I came to Tampa, Florida. I want to say about 5 years ago. I came in December. Weather was like maybe in the 50s. Apparently that's like freezing cold here now. And I was like in the beaches probably every other day. It was like a vacation. I took like so much time off of work because I was like, my God, like I'm so like inspired. I'm so mesmerized by this place. And it's funny because when I came here, it was different as far as the people, the culture, everything was very like slow paced, people were very pleasant. And back home, you don't really get people that are so nice. Everybody's very aggressive and they're very like on the move. Everything is so accelerated. So I'm seeing all these people and they're just, they're so pleasant saying hi to me. And I didn't understand why they were so nice. So, I would just not respond because that was not normal. And like, so imagine you're saying hi to me and I'm just looking at you like with a dead face, like, okay, I don't know this person. Why are you saying hi to me? So anyway, I had a lot of unlearning to do and a lot of learning to do. So that made me really open up my mind, and then I started saying to myself, I could really capitalize on this and do the things that I wanted to do, which was honestly pursue my purpose. So and I found that with helping people. So helping people accelerate with their goals, with their careers, which is how I first started, made me feel fulfilled, you know, and it made me feel good inside. And I said, I remember saying to my sister, I told her came out of work one day and I said, I can't stand it. Like, I want to take time off. I can't take vacation. I'm just going to go anyway. I don't care what the boss says. I'm just going to go take vacation. So my sister's like, well, you really can't do that. You're going to have to like do your own business if you want to do your own thing. So that's when like something lit up, and I was like, you know what? I should do my own business. I should do my own thing. And she was laughing because she thought I was joking, but I was dead serious, right?
Yeah.
So even when I was in New York, I was always helping people with their papers. I've always been a person that has always been in school, very academically inclined. And, you know, I was a forever learner. And over there, that wasn't just something that happened. You know, there was a lot of high school dropouts, you know, moms, which was, I was part of that, you know, stigma, you know. So when you are a teenage mom at a young age, you tend to drop out of high school, you know, and you go on government assistance, and you kind of just get any retail job that you can. So so I used to get people that would come to me and ask me to do their resumes. So I never thought about really doing it as a business, right? So I never thought about doing it into a larger capacity. I just wanted friendship. So and I never charged anyone, and it was more like, I'll do it for you and let's go hang out, you know? So as I was here in Florida trying to plot my, you know, my way into entrepreneurship to, you know, to escape my 9 to 5, to escape and have more time management, I said to myself, you know, I could really, you know, capitalize on this resume building because people are asking me to do their papers. So then I did. And I was very nervous because I never had really like deep interactions with people, like, and I wouldn't say above me, but that's how I felt, right? You know, there I was dealing with CEOs, presidents, vice presidents, and people, you know, executives, and people were reaching out to me for help. So, you know, I had to really condition myself to not only think differently, but feel differently, act differently. I had to change everything, just my health, my self-worth, my beliefs. So I started doing that, and I started helping people with their careers, and I was doing that for many years. Even when I was in New York, I had a period in time where I was management, and I helped a lot with HR and onboarding process. So I did some interviews, so I was already familiar with that. So I was helping people, and it was great. Like, I was doing resumes, I was doing LinkedIn profiles, I was really studying the ATS, the how to keyword optimize your profile for more search views. So I'm doing all this, and I'm doing this for now. I say I started in 2016, and all up until 2019 when the pandemic hit. I said, you know, I feel stuck, you know. I feel like I need something more. I feel like I need to create a bigger impact, right? Because doing direct projects for people, I mean, it's great. I'm helping people, which is what I enjoy doing, but I felt like I was still limiting myself. So I didn't know what that looked like. I said, you know, I've always wanted to teach people in a different way. So I wanted to get into group coaching. And at the time, I didn't really think about it as being a coach. I just kind of thought about it as just being a teacher and just educating people.
Yeah, gotcha.
So as I'm doing my research, discovering more about myself and my personal development, my growth, and seeing where I'm at, analyzing all these things, I come across someone, Emmy, as a matter of fact, that, you know, she presented to me kind of like an offer. And I was very, you know, I was still kind of like very naive. I was like, you can't really teach me anything that I don't know. You know, I felt like I was just the smartest of the bunch, you know?
Yeah.
So I said, you know what, let me take a chance. I never had like a coach. And if I wanted to really elevate this, maybe there is something that I can learn from her. So I started working with her, and I found that that I had a lot of limiting beliefs that was holding me back. So it wasn't really anything as far as like the tools that I had. Everything that I had was down packed, the tools, the implementation of what type of goals I wanted to, create for myself. And I was missing the support, if that makes sense. So I was missing the support, the community aspect of it, the the team. I was missing the A team, because I mean, in reality, you really can't win without a team. You always need someone to help you, whether you are starting a new career, whether you're starting a new business, whatever it is, you always have someone to guide you. So I started with her, and I told her, what I was doing. I was doing career coaching, but I want to do group coaching and really elevate this and, make this kind of money and, help this kind of people. And, so I already had kind of my program, an idea of how I wanted to create it. But with the teachings that I learned from her and from people within the group, it really expanded my mind to, to something different. And aside from that, I was pivoting to a whole new market. I was targeting a whole new market. I was rebranding myself. I was, changing my profile, changing my pricing structure, my offers. So everything was changing. And it wasn't so much that I felt out of touch with career branding. Again, it was just one of those things that I wanted to create a bigger impact, and I said, you know what, I can help people with their business on LinkedIn because I'm very fluent at it and I do very well. So that's kind of how I started. I started with implementing the group classes, and Emmy suggested that I did one-on-one coaching to gain the experience. And I did. And I did not like it. I did not like I did not like the one-on-one coaching. Like, I still have some people that I do one-on-one coaching, that they're gonna fall off soon. So I like the whole just doing the group coaching. I feel like, I mean, I love the one-on-one, but it just takes a lot of energy. And I have to be realistic with my limitations, right? So I have to be realistic with what I can and cannot handle. And I just cannot handle other baggages, So I and then kind of like experimenting too, with my one-on-one, also with people that I have not done one-on-one with. They've experienced the same growth. So the opportunity of, or just doing the sorry,
That was good.
I think I was talking too much. Give myself a break. So I think the most important thing for me about the group coaching and the one-on-one was that my students were able to get the same results, right? That they were not falling behind. And that was really important to me. So once I found that I was able to scale that, it was at that point, it was a done deal. Like, it was just solidified. I just said, I'm not going to do one-on-one anymore. Now, don't get me wrong. If someone is really insisting on it, I'm just like, I have a really soft spot. I'm a sucker sometimes when it comes to people. So like, if anyone wants to, then, then that would be something that we could talk about. But I typically don't offer any one-on-one. I just do the group coaching. They do really well. The people do really well. Like I said, the students do really well. And I enjoy it very much. I'm one person with a whole bunch of people once a week, and that's it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of back end stuff that happens. I have to do research, to create the curriculum, and I've also been very fortunate enough to have opened other doors for me because of that group coaching. I had a few educational institutions, I did some workshops for them for their students that are like 20 and above on branding on LinkedIn for career. So I've been very fortunate to have that opportunity. So yeah, I mean, if you would have met me 5 years ago, I promise you I would have not been the same person. So
Really? Yeah.
yeah, I mean, nice, but not like, I don't think I would have, if you would have told me I would have been like in this place right now, in this position, I just didn't see that for myself because I didn't see anything beyond what I saw where I was. So yeah, that's kind of like my story.
Wow, I love that. There's so much growth in that in the last 5 years. So I want to take it just a step back because I'm sure that you were where the help comes in. So you love to help people. So you were a police officer at one stage, was that right?
Yes. So I was a New York City police officer. This was in my my mid-20s. My mid-20s. So funny story. I was dating a police officer and he dared me to take the exam. It was just going to be that. That's all it was going to be. It was just going to be.
No study? Did you study or you just?
No, I studied because I wanted to pass because I wanted to prove him that I can do the test. So at that time, when I did do that, they were offering police officers $25,000. So no one wanted to be in the department.
Okay, yeah.
So when I took the test, literally like out of nowhere, everything, like when I passed, they said, hey, you passed with, high grades. We're just gonna, evaluate you. We're gonna assign you an investigator. So everything started happening so fast that all of a sudden I was in the academy. And then my parents was like, what are you doing? So I'm like, I'm gonna be a cop. Like, what? I'm gonna be bad. Like, get out of here, like a hot cop. Get out. Like, so and I went under the whole pretense of helping people make a difference in this world, and and the academy was tough. Like that paramilitary organization, like people, sergeants in your face, like literally like yelling at you. You could feel the spit on your face because it was just it was brutal. It was very brutal. The physical training was brutal. I mean, I was the strongest I've ever been in my entire life when I was in the academy. I've gotten really strong, really lean, probably the best shape of my life, And I can see why now, because you have to fight people literally all the time. So I went in and I was in it. Like I was like, oof, I love it, this is great, and I was really rocking it. And I did that for a few years. And when I ended up going to what they call the command, and I think they call the precinct, it wasn't what I expected it to be. Okay. So I mean, I have no shame in saying a lot of stuff, but I know that, this thing, I could tell you this. Whatever you see on TV is true. Like, it's just a big mafia. It is insane up in there.
Really?
So, yeah.
Dangerous? Like,
the what?
Is it dangerous? Like, I can imagine like being a New York cop. It's be like so much danger.
It was, I mean, I've seen things that I don't think anyone would ever would ever even imagine, you know? So, you know, every day I was just fighting people, you know, because they were the streets. Like we were in the hood, you know? So I'm in my 20s, and I have, you know, all this energy, the strength, and you know, we were like out there like fighting crime, you know, taking bums off the street, crackheads, drug dealers, and it was insane, you know, and cops, you know, and it was in both parties really. People from the streets didn't play nice, cops didn't play nice. I said, this is a blood battle. I'm out of here. This is insane. I'm gonna die here. Like, yeah, it was insane. So then I ended up leaving, but it was a good experience, you know, because I got to see the world. I got to see the dark side of the world. And what I mean by the dark side, because I worked from 7 at night to 2 in the morning. So
Yep.
I got to see people like heavy, like it was just a whole different mentality, a whole different, it was just crime, it was just craziness. I mean, and it just made me feel sad, right? Because it made me feel like, man, people really need people to help them, to motivate them, to inspire them, you know? So, and I think that also contributed to the love and the passion that I have for, you know, getting people out of that mental state, you know, that place, so they can be better people, you know. So yeah, that was my little backstory on that.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. All right, so I'm just a little bit conscious of time, and I've got 3 more questions to ask you. So with your, say, either your current clients or past clients, I guess more towards like business or branding, what have been those sort of common maybe challenges that you've seen with, you know, like people wanting to either grow their brand or grow, you know, like their business?
So one of the biggest challenges that I see, and this is the top of the challenge, is people staying consistent. It's really hard for someone to create a new routine and to be consistent with their business, with their messaging, with their branding, with talking to people on and offline. You know, some people are just not cut out for it. You know, it's hard. And sometimes I think back, like, you know, I've been the most consistent that I've ever been the past 2 years. So, you know, I'm like, if I can do it, you can do it. And that's, you know, that's what I instill in people. But I can only, you know, push for so much where they don't feel like it's like, you know, a job, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, thank you. And if there's anyone watching or if they're listening on Apple or Spotify, hey Fizzer, what's the best way to get hold of you?
Yeah. So the best way to get a hold of me is through LinkedIn. Yes, really and truly. I do have other platforms, but sometimes it could take me a while to kind of look through them because, you know, my main platform is LinkedIn. So if you want to connect with me, you can most definitely look for me on LinkedIn. My URL is my first and last name, Viviana Muñoz, technical writer, because that's what I was, you know, doing at the time. Which, by the way, don't ever use anything other than your name on a URL, because then you'll be a technical writer forever, right? So, yeah. Or you can email me too at mycoachviviana@gmail.com. That's how you can get a hold of me. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. All right, so it's about that time to wrap up. Very last question. So you know that I'm obsessed with dad jokes. So do you have a dad joke, a quote, something inspirational, something motivational, something empowering, something of value that you'd love to leave the audience with?
Yeah, I do. I hope it's a bad good joke, but all right. So all right, let me. So what does a baby computer call his father or their father?
I don't know. What does a baby computer call his father?
Data.
Oh, you, Viv, you are an absolute rock star. So I just want to say a massive, huge thank you to you for coming on and just sharing gold and just dropping like knowledge bombs. And I'm so glad because we haven't caught up for months and months and months. Absolutely love your work, love what you do. Love how you just absolutely killing it on LinkedIn as well. So keep up the good work. And you are an absolute superstar. And I love how open, honest, and especially when you show up on social media because you are like yourself. So I absolutely love that. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and thank you, everyone. I'm really so appreciative to be here with all of you today. Thank you.
So welcome.